Have you guys seen some of his tape? No, not yet. Oh, you need to go on TikTok because there's tape on him on TikTok. So, number one, I'm going to go right here to my guy, Travis Hunter, the number one overall football recruit. Spurns the top ACC schools, spurs the top SEC schools, signs with a number one HBCU school. Right now, they still have a bowl game to play that will decide whether they're the number one HBCU school. But he signs with Deion Sanders and Jackson State. And look, his message is fantastic. He gets all the credit. Florida State has always been a beacon for me. I grew up down there. That's where my roots are. I never doubted that I'd play for the Seminoles. It's a dream that's hard to let go of. But sometimes we are called to step into a bigger future than the one we imagine for ourselves. And he goes on to say, for him, the future is at Jackson State University. He names Jerry Rice, Doug Williams, and of course the legend and Jackson State's own Walter Payton. Historically black colleges and universities have a rich history in football. He wants to be a part of that history and more. He wants to make that the future for athletes, not just pigeonholing them into these D1 athletes, these top 5 schools, these SEC powerhouses, these ACC powerhouses. He wants to spread the wealth. This happened a few years ago with Hampton as well. They signed a top recruit, and unfortunately, he actually ended up transferring to a Power 5 school. But hopefully with this situation, Travis Hunter has his head on right. He wants to do this. He wants to do this for his family. He wants to get an education. And he wants to bring pride back into the HBCU school systems and their football teams and bring them back to those powerhouses they once were. And DJ, I know we've talked about this a lot with the movement of money in the NCAA and everything, and kind of trying to get different schools involved. Do you think this is one that, when I look at this, I think this is great for football in the future? I think this is one that's going to shed light on these HBCUs and bring them back into the limelight, if you will.
Love it. Love every bit of it as well, too, because obviously you talked about that, the NIL deals. It's almost a lot of players are coming out like, all right, where can I make the most money right away? Which one's going to have the NIL deals? I mean, Texas, if I'm not mistaken, University of Texas, each scholared offensive lineman's making $50K. It's a full-time salary job, which is going to pay more than we both make on. It's like, my goodness. Looking at him, he's like, all right, I can go to this HBCU school. This is a long game move, and I absolutely love it. You are a top-rated defensive back going to play for one of the greatest defensive backs of all time as a coach. As that number one recruit going to HBCU, there's still plenty of money to go around. None of that as well, too. And the way that college, NFL, and all that recruiting and scouting is, it doesn't matter where you go to school anymore. Like, it used to be, if you might these guys slip through the cracks, like a Kenny Moore, Valdosta State, guys like that. If you're that dude, you're still going to get picked early. Like, I guarantee there are NFL scouts that have had tabs on him since his freshman year of high school. Like, NFL scouting is a 24/7, 365 job, just like high school recruiting out of high school is the same way. He has already been like, there were NFL scouts already like, we're in position to take him. This is what we have idea. Like, they have a little mini draft board out ahead on top of him. So you can go to school wherever you want. This is a great long move for him as well, too, because honestly, you're going to get your most playing time. You're going to look absolutely sensational in those HBCU schools right now as they're building forward right now. But he's going to be maybe right out of the gate the best player on the field more often than not. Very few times is he not going to be the best player on the field, and he's going to look absolutely sensational as well, too. So I think this is an outstanding move. And
really, as you mentioned with Travis Hunter, I mean, like, dude, it's exactly YouTube, man, TikTok, they will get you found. There's been, like, nowadays NFL coaches are like, their kids are sitting here on TikTok, and their kids will walk up with a TikTok video of some crazy play and be like, "Hey, Dad, did you see this?" And that dad's going to look at that, and he's going to call his draft speculate, like the draft team. He's like, "Hey, do we have anything on this guy? Where's he projected at? Have you guys seen some of his tape? No, not yet. Oh, you need to go on TikTok because there's tape on him on TikTok." Like, it's that easy to find somebody, and then they'll find tape on him. And as you mentioned, being one of the best athletes on the field, the moment you step on it, always will help you. And it's not like a situation where he's going there to be, big fish in a little pond. He's playing for Deion Sanders. That's a big fish. Like, there's a big fish, and then there's a shark, and Deion Sanders is a shark, and everybody else is just kind of hanging out over here, like on his team, under his shadow. So you're not ever going to be able to step out of the limelight that is Coach Prime, and that's going to be really good for some of these kids that are like top recruits wanting to shine a light on HBCUs. They're going to bring a lot of attention there. And honestly, you love it for what Deion did for the game in his first time around playing. Now he's doing it coaching, and it's absolutely